What is up, everybody? Today I'm going to show you exactly what I do step by step on how to prepare your cards, how to clean your cards, and get the cards ready for PSA. We're going to look at 3 examples. We're going to go over the centering, the edges, the corners, and the surface. Those are the 4 main aspects that grading companies look at. So we'll take a look at those up close. I have a new toy I want to play with, and we'll see if the cards are worth grading. We'll make predictions, see if the cards are worth grading based on what the prices sell for raw, and stay tuned. All right, so here we go. Here's the 3 cards we're going to take a look at. I have a big old stack of cards that I'm need to look at to see if they're worthy of grading. So we'll start with these 3. We got a semi-vintage card, if you want to call it, the Greg Maddox. That is a Tiffany. And then we have the Bryce Harper refractor, and we have the Aaron Judge pink refractor. That's a 2022 card. So let's start with the Bryce Harper. The first thing I like to look for is on the surface. We'll go ahead and pull this out and take a close look. The best way I've found to look at surface is to kind of angle it in the light here and see if there is anything on here that may be like gunky or scratches or anything of that nature that would stop this from getting at least a 9 or a 10. This card is definitely worth grading in a 9, maybe not an 8. It'd probably be better to sell it raw. I'm not really seeing anything here that would bump that grade down. It actually looks very nice. So we'll go ahead and look at the back of the card, see if there's anything there that might, throw up a red flag here. And from everything I'm seeing on the back, it looks really nice. I don't know if you could see, there was like a very, very minor print line on the back. Let's see if I can catch it here. I don't see it, in the camera, but I could see it in person. So I don't think on the back that's going to hold us up from getting anything deducted on this. So far, I think it's looking very nice. Next, we'll look at the centering. And it does look off left to right. Whether it's in the tolerance or not, it's hard to determine. I have this little tool here that helps me determine how far off the centering is here. Now for PSA, if it's 60 to 40%, either way, you're good. You could still get a 10. So it looks like left to right. I don't know if you could see that or not, but if you look at the dash line 2, it is very close to the red line. Let's see if I can get you a little closer here. It is very close. And I think that would be close enough to still get a 10. Or a 9. Definitely close enough to get a 9. So that's what I'm shooting for here on this card, is at least a 9. Next, we'll look at this Greg Maddox. This is a Tiffany. I got it for pretty good price, and it was actually in better condition than I thought it was going to be when I got it. I think. I don't know. We'll see. But we're taking a look here at the surface. These older cards usually, they've been around, so sometimes it's hard to find them in really good shape. And let's see, can you see right in this area here, there's some scratches and indentations. It's very hard to pick up with these. Okay, yeah, see that right there. So that's definitely a good size deduction. There's a dent right there, and that would put this card down to at least an 8. And definitely some pretty significant damage there on the surface. Yeah, so you can see the centering is definitely pretty good left to right. I think it's definitely within the range for PSA. And then again, we'll take a look at the corners and the edges on this one. Okay, last card. I just opened this in a box the other day. In fact, you could check out the video. I'll put a link to it right here on the top of the screen. But yeah, this one, it was really too nice to not great, honestly. So it's the centering is amazing. I don't even need to put the tool on it. It's right there. The surface, let's take a look at that right now. Surface is perfect in every way that I could see. The one thing I haven't really looked at too closely is the centering, or the edges and the corners. I mean, from the naked eye, they look really nice. So I'm pretty confident that this card would gem, but we're going to take a closer look anyways. So hang tight. We're going to put the little tool on the camera here and take a closer look at these. Okay, we're back. We are looking at this Bryce Harper card here. So we're going to start on one of these corners here. Let's go to the top right corner there. And that looks very good. This is 200 time magnification here. Yeah, I do have it in a penny sleeve, so some of the stuff you're seeing there might be in that penny sleeve. We're just going to run down this edge here. Look for anything that looks, you know, messed up. I'll show you this tool here in a second if you guys do want to pick one up. It was only $29. It was actually a really good deal on Amazon. That corner looks great. There's a little, nope, that's just a hair. You can see every imperfection in these cards. And I think that looks like a hair. Everything that's in there, all these little dots and everything, you know, this is 200 time magnification. So I don't think that they're really going to nail us on that, because every card I've looked at since I got this thing had something. Even my 10s that I was looking at in the cases, those are like little wild hairs. Those are all on the edge of the card there, and you don't see those with the naked eye, but they're definitely there. And that corner just looks amazing too. So we are, so far we're 3 for 4. Let's see if we can, that line there, I believe that is in the penny sleeve. Let me see if I can, we'll have to look at that after and see if that is just on the penny sleeve. I think that's on the penny sleeve there. Okay, keep going up the edge here. There is a little, what is that thing? I think that's something inside the penny sleeve. That's a good reason why you want to put brand new penny sleeves in. Clean the cards before you send them to PSA. And I'll show you exactly how I clean these cards here in a minute. That might be a little something, but I don't think that's enough to make this card go all the way down to an 8. Okay, so I've determined that this card, my best prediction is that it's a 9. The top to bottom centering is just slightly off. There's an outside chance for a 10, but I think it's closer to a 9. So having said that, let's clean this surface off. I'll show you exactly how I do it to avoid any damage. I like to put a microfiber cloth underneath, and I have a couple microfiber cloths here. The one I'm actually wiping with, I have a brand new one here. I like to just make sure that I'm not scratching anything on the surface here, because that will make or break it. So I have one underneath. I have one I'm going to use to hold down the card, and then this one I'm going to just go ahead and gently, very gently wipe the surface and get all those little hairs and dust balls and anything like that off. And for the cleaning purposes, we're just gonna clean this one card, because it's the same thing, rinse and repeat for every other card. Okay, so just gentle wipes. You know, again, want to get all fingerprints off. If you got fingerprints on there, make sure you wipe off any fingerprints. We don't want that detracting from the overall appearance of the card. Okay, And do not neglect the back. The back is very important. So to flip this card, just use the microfiber cloth to kind of just lift it so you're not dinging the card up. Nothing in there. There's not. It's brand new out of the package. Slide that in very gently. Okay, there you go. And anytime you're sending a card in for grading, PSA always prefers that you put it into a soft sleeve or a card saver. So that would be one of these here. Let's get these out of the way. Okay, they're just easier to pull cards out of. Another little trick you could use that would help them get the card out without damaging them is these little tabs that you could use. You can get them at the office supply store. You could just stick that right on there. They do also sell penny sleeves that have these tabs on them. And then hold that open, one corner at a time, get that in there, and then hold the card like this and slide it down in. Okay, and that is ready to send off for grading. Next, we'll take a look at the value of the card raw and the value of the card graded, and determine if it's worth grading. All right, so in the search engine on eBay, I've punched in 2012 Topps Chrome Bryce Harper Refractor. These are cards that are for sale. We don't want to look at that. We want to see what everything's sold for. So you're going to hit the filter button here and scroll down until you find sold items. Okay. And you can see here that a PSA 8 is $48 is the most recent sale. Definitely, if this is going to grade an 8, we don't want that grade. So if you take a look, looks like the up-down centering is far off. It's hard to tell with PSA. They don't give subgrades, so it's hard to say if it was the centering was an issue or if there was surface issues or what. You can see in a 9 it sold for $174. This one here went for $120, and raw it sold for $89. So you could see a PSA 10 sold for $599 or $600. It's that guy right here. So if you can get a 10 on this, obviously it's well worth grading. So if we can get a 9 at least on this card, then it's well worth the grade. All right, so next we'll look at the Greg Maddox card, and we're going to change over to sold items because we don't care about what people are trying to sell them for. We want to know what it sold for. In this BCCG 10, actually that is not a Tiffany. There's a best offer. So this is an older SGC label, and this card sold for $46 in mint condition. An 8 looks like that's a SGC 8 that sold for $32. A PSA 7 sold for $29.95. The 9s are going for $78. I think our card here is going to be a 6 or a 7 based on that surface. Looks like raw this card could maybe go for $10 to $15. So if we're looking at, I think a 7 would be a safe bet. And the last 7 sold for roughly $30 with free shipping. So it's going to cost us $20 to grade this card. After eBay fees, this card's probably not worth sending in. We're probably more in the 6 range instead of a 7. Most likely this card is not worth grading. So last we'll look at the Aaron Judge card. This is the regular pink refractor, not the magenta. It's not a numbered card. So let's go to sold items here. And the last couple sales, $5.50, $7, $5.
Even this SGC 10, $26. The last one went for $87 in a PSA 10. I am very confident this card's going to be a 10, but it could come back a 9. From everything I'm seeing, it could be a 10 though. So it looks like raw, this card is roughly $15. So if we assume $87 for a 10, and that is an auction, it's not a buy it now, it could go for a little higher, roughly maybe $100. You know, so if we assume the raw grade of $15 and then $20 to ship it, that's $35, and then you will have to pay some eBay fees. You know, this card very much seems worth grading. Okay, so here's the camera I used today to look at these cards up close. I did buy it on Amazon. It was $29. I'll show you a screenshot right here, so you could do a search for it if you're interested in buying one of these. Basically, this camera just clips to the back of your phone. You have to center it up with your camera. You can see under there, there's a hole there for where your phone's gonna look through. And there is a light on here. There's a cable to charge this thing. Comes with a microfiber cloth and a case to hold it in. This is the box it came in. So if you hold down this power button, that light will turn on, and then you could center up the camera and start looking up close at your cards. This is a very cool tool, and I think it will definitely improve my gem rate. So if you like it, take a look. Maybe you can get one too. All right. Thanks for watching.